Welcome on into the Zoom room. Y'all, it's Thursday, and as I promised, we're going to do some auto mock-ups, but I'm going to let everybody get settled, and we're going to do our demo and Q&A session first. So right now, you won't have thank you, customer happiness. Right now, you won't have a file just yet to work with. I'm going to demonstrate through this file, and then what we'll do is we'll go on the back end, we'll download it all together, and we'll work through this flip today. So the idea here is that we're going to be able to take one thing that we designed, which was this yesterday. So we designed one t-shirt design, and we're going to be able to take the elements out of this t-shirt design, pop them into this magic Automizer, and we'll go ahead and get some output for different products. Now, right now, what I have on here are more or less the simpler keepsakes from Memorial. So you have t-shirts, you have, I would call this a memorial card. It's just basically a card that front and back, it might have a photo on the front, maybe like a thank you message or a poem, something like that on the back. And then what's really popular, not just for the funeral event itself, to have the big portrait or poster, but other people, other family members may want to have a copy of that poster, and it's very inexpensive to reproduce, but they value that very highly because you've taken time, you made it a really nice design and something that they want to have in their home as well. And then I have the dog tag on here and a button and a ribbon. So these might be some of the, smaller trinket memorial items that everyone at the event may want to have a version of for themselves. So this is a small version of the Automizer. Like I said, we're going to do a mini Automizer in class tonight. And then what we'll do is I'll demonstrate tomorrow the bigger package. I'll go ahead and even update some of those graphics for you all so that you have. But some of you are going to want to work in the bigger Automizer. Now, I am working on some products. So you all said you wanted a program. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to do the program with the Canva, because when it has multiple pages in it, it actually is easier to do in Canva. But what I do is I bring all of my images from Photoshop, put them into Canva, and I go ahead and design the program from there. So I'll do that as a separate class because that's going to be a bit much for today. So I'll go ahead and show you all what I mean by the simple flip here. So if you remember yesterday, when we flipped this design in Photoshop, we discovered that it was a magical file. And from that magical file, we would get these particular pieces. Now, these pieces are going to help you in Canva make your motion graphic. It'll help you in Canva make your funeral program. It will also help you make whatever you want to make, whether it be a t-shirt design or anything else in Photoshop or in Canva. But what I like to do is I like to take these images here. So these are assets that are naturally produced by the type of master file that we worked in yesterday. And then we're going to have some fun pulling that into the Automizer so that we can transform this Automizer from our blue fishing design to our purple in Rose's design, okay? So I'm going to just be recording this simply as a demonstration. You don't have to follow. A matter of fact, don't follow along with me because I'd rather you follow along with me once you get the file. So my OG, triple OGs, this is probably very simple for you, but you still may have some questions. I'm positive you'll still have some questions because every time we design, whether in the Automizer or not, there are some features that we can help you design faster, more efficiently. So that's the whole point. I want it to be beautiful, but I also don't want it to take hours and hours for you to design. All right, so without focusing on the products right now, because as you can see, the products have our blue fishing image. We're going to come over to the element side. . 'Cause. 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 ' And then I'm going to start with the colors here. Now, this is the only time. Remember, I tell y'all to make sure auto select is turned off. This is the only time really that I use auto select. So I'm going to select the first color here, color number 1. I'll double click on it. I'm going to go to my folder here and find my color number 1. Drop that in, delete the layer underneath, close that tab, hit yes to save. Right, and I'll do the same thing with color number 2. We're going to drag and drop. And the reason why I like dragging and dropping, because I am a visual person. You can also do file, place embedded. I just think it's an extra step. And if I can just see it in my mind, I know I can just replace that like element. Now this time, instead of just closing it first, if you go File, Save, or Control S, then close it, it won't ask you if you want to save. Now, for the patterns, we're not going to get into the patterns this week. I decided we're going to get into the patterns later. But if you did want to kind of store your patterns here, then what I would suggest is just to go ahead and double click on this rectangle here. It's filled with a pattern, but if you haven't already saved your pattern from the template, I'm going to go to this pattern field. This is how you can save it. Just double click on it, hit that plus sign. And then that way, when I come over here and I double click on the flower here, which I think, let's see here, should be at the very bottom. Yep. And then I can scale it a little bit smaller if I want to see more of the print. So scale it to 10%, then that way I can see what's stored in that pattern. Now, of course, it is stored as the blue because the pattern has a blue flower. We just use an overlay. So if I need to use it later, it's just on my palette like an artist palette, you know? That's what this represents. It's basically where you're going to pick your elements from, where you're going to pick your colors from, where you're going to pick your features from. So it's almost like an artist palette, and you're going to use this palette to build whatever designs for the products that you want to show. Now, I'm just going to show you a very efficient way to design all of those products at one time. All right, so let's go ahead. Foreground is the most important. Foreground and background are going to be the most important things that you change. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on the foreground. And our magic file from yesterday gives us a foreground. So I'm just going to drop that in right there, pull it up just a little bit so it will have the same height here. Then I am going to delete the image underneath it. Go ahead and hit yes to save those changes. All right, and then next I'm going to go ahead and change out the background here. Again, now I can choose if I want to do my remix background. So my background that has the florals at the bottom, or if I want to do just my plain background. That's why I gave y'all those two different options to save each of those. So since we spent a little time doing this one, I'm going to go ahead and use the one that has the blended image. And then I'm going to delete the image below. Hit yes to save those changes. And that one is going to take a little bit of time because that's the largest file that you have of all these files. It is a 44 by 36 inch image, and it is rather large, but it allows you to make, you know, smaller things like your programs and your buttons. And it also allows you to make larger things like your all over t-shirts and your backdrops. So when those files are a little bit bigger, the reason why is because I can't take a tiny little program size image and blow it up to a backdrop. But I can take the bigger all over t-shirt size, blow it up to a pretty much a backdrop, like a 10 by 8 or 8 by 10 backdrop, and it doesn't show that it has like a lot of deterioration of the image. But if I were to do that from a small 8 by 10 image and blow it up, you absolutely would see those artifacts and that fuzziness in there. We call it pixelation. and I don't want your projects going out like that. All right, so foreground, background is in there. Now what I'm going to do is just change out a little bit of these pieces of text here. So we have the In Love and Memory, which I coined as text 1 here. So we're going to change that into Forever in Our Hearts. And then I'm just going to delete the layer underneath. That way, if I'm using that text independently somewhere, I have it stored, I have it saved. The whole point of this system is to have things that you're going to use frequently stored, and then to display it and combine it in a way that you don't have to think real hard at all. At the most, whenever you see everything flipped together, you may have to shift something up or down or move it just a little bit on the artboard, but you won't have to redesign everything every single time you have a project. And that's the beauty of the Automizer. All right, so text number 4, let's go ahead and change that out. And my text 4 here is first name. And of course, we put Dorothy there. And then let's go ahead and change the last name. Now you notice the last name is really close to the first name. So when I see that, I just tap somewhere on the outside and then go back and grab the last name. If two things are really tiny and really close together, you will have a very difficult time trying to select it. So last name's here. Let's go ahead and switch that out. Last name is Williams. Go ahead and save that change. All right, so now we have our text changed out here. And also I have text 6, I have the dates saved here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that out as well. There we go. All right, now I'm not really messing with a lot of these things. It has a lot of other options. You can do all of the different accents and that sort of thing, but since we're not using accents for this particular one, I'm leaving the accents off, but keep in mind that there are some things that are here. They're just basically nothing in that placeholder. So when we do the bigger Automizer class, where you actually flip something that has all of the different accents and all of the front and back and some other images, then I'll show you that. But for tonight, I want to empower you and not get you too discombobulated or too excited where you're working on a lot. I want you all to do this simple flip tonight. I want you to have some feeling of confidence and control in being able to do multiple mockups, and then we'll get a little advanced, okay? Now, for this one, it says the zero text page. This one is a poem. I'm going to leave the poem on because we are going to use it. It can be used for the back of the shirt. In this case, we're going to use it also for the back of the photo card or the memorial card that they get to keep. So I want to keep that poem there. We definitely want to change out the foreground image here. So let's go ahead and change out the photo. And I do, for the most part, label the more important things the same thing. But I just want you to know, even if it doesn't have my label, it's just your way of thinking how you want to replicate the process. So you may be working on a project that doesn't have a photo, but maybe the main focal image is a logo, or it might be an image of a cityscape or something to that degree. So you're going to have to figure out with your project what the important features are, and then you'll be able to see how to use it inside of the Automizer. All right, so I have some memorial facts on there. I'm going to leave those there for you. And then before I leave out, I didn't used to do this, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to test my t-shirt front image here. So I'm just going to double click on it. And then I see that I have these little caution symbols where my links are. I'm just going to right click and update all modified content. In fact, I didn't say that when I first got on, but that is what you want to do every time you open the Automizer. Just go ahead and update all modified content, because sometimes it could be something hidden that's not updated and it'll throw you off. But you see how it just, while I was talking, it just automatically flipped that design? That's what we want to happen. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the back and see if it has everything that I want on it. So I'm now going to select the back, double click here. All I'm going to do is update all modified content. It should go from the blue theme to our purple theme. Beautiful. And then you might have to do a little shifting or a little, maybe you want to put name and date or anything like that on there. But I'm going to keep it simple. All right, and with that, keep in mind that we're not going to see any changes here until we do this next step. So I'm going to zoom out just so I can show you we're going from the blue to the purple. And now that I have everything that I need here, I want to go ahead and close this out. And then I'm going to go ahead and package. All right, and I have my little window showing up on my other screen here. Let's see if it'll let me move it. Beautiful. What it's checking to see is checking to make sure that everything that I have kind of going in order for my foreground, my background, all my pieces is making sure that it makes sense. And it's going to ask me where I want to save it. And I'm going to show you all tonight where to create your Automizer All folder. And then we're going to create a new folder for this. And I'm going to call this 297 class finish. Now, I'm not going to have to go into each of these like I did for the front and back, but I will show you later that it does have a mock-up and it has a editable file separate that you can also print straight from the file. So this is not just a mock-up. It's not just like a little tiny version of the design that, yeah, I may have to go back and show the customer or go back and create what I showed the customer. Because that's what we used to do. We used to make these little mock-ups, and if they liked it, then we would have to go recreate it or make it in a printable scale and a printable size. So what I'm showing you tonight is a little magic of mock-up plus your printables plus your editable graphics. So if you have not had a chance to work with the Automizer yet, this is going to be a fun opportunity for us to play with it tonight. All right, so while it is packaging here, it looks like it's almost done. I'm going to go check on where my file is. So I'll go to my Automizer All folder, my 297 class finish, and I'm just going to go peek in on it. I know it's not done yet because it should have a file out here when it's done, but I'm going to go check on my links. And I see that it's making all of my different pieces that I need today. Now I'm not going to open anything because I want Photoshop to finish thinking. I'm just showing you that this is basically my way of testing and making sure that everything is updating like I want it to. And when it is successful, which it is done, you'll see a little file pop up on the outside of the links folder. I can open that now, and everything that was blue should now be purple. Do y'all see that? So if you have a basic package, the idea here, and I would not do this for every extreme package, okay? So when we get into, we do have an Automizer class that we have where Coach Des and Coach Nancy help you all through flipping a big file. For instance, if you're doing your whole Memorial Platinum package, which I'll show you that in just a moment, what I believe a platinum package looks like. But that's pretty much the majority of the products that you're going to ever flip. You won't flip those every single time for every single customer. You would flip those like if you have an occasion or a theme or a design that you want to do. Now I want to show y'all something. Let's see here. Where'd it go? There we go. And it takes a little while for this website to pull up, but I wanted to show you what your competitors look like. So I'm gonna let that pull up for a second, kind of let it load because their website takes some time. But here's an idea right here. So these are packages, right? So I'm sure that they don't just go mocking up a whole bunch of different products for every single customer, but what they will do is show you a package with a certain styling. So our purple roses might be one styling, and then our blue lake, or whatever you want to name your different designs, might be a different design style. So that's what I would do most of my packages as, and then I would allow them to pick whichever package they want. Of course, they're going to say, oh, or maybe they're just picking a single item. They just picked a single t-shirt. I would do something that has like what we have today, maybe 5 products tops, and just go ahead and flip that immediately, show that to them. You see, it didn't take much time to do this small package. So then they would say, oh, and then I would show them the platinum package that has the majority of our images here. Let me pull that one up so I can show you the difference. I'm going to show you pretty much the vault. All right. And even inside of my vault has all of my products that auto mock up like this. But then what I do is I'll go and only select the products that are relevant to my customer's experience. So t-shirts are pretty much a staple in almost anything that you touch. Of course, some of your printed goods, like the programs, will be excellent to have for this one. So I am going to work on the programs for you all. And then those posters do really well for this type of occasion as well. Buttons, ribbons, etc. And then what I'll do is I'll also show you, it looks like I'm going to have to go in here and possibly clean up that ribbon because not everything's going to be perfect just automatically. But I'm just showing you here. You see how I made a memorial class? I call this a stage. I made a memorial class stage. And then I still have my memorial platinum, which has a lot more products on there, right? So I might have the Memorial Platinum displayed at the top of the page, and then like whenever I send them their proof, and then I'll say like, hey, here's a proof of your design. I know you just asked for a t-shirt, but I thought you might like some of these other items as well. Let me know if there's anything further I can help you with. And then when they see, oh, you can do ties and socks and pillows, etc., then they can ask me, hey, like how much more would it be for me to add a pillow or add the socks, etc. When they tell you what they want and they pay for what they want, then you can go ahead and mock up those additional items in the way that I'm going to show you when we do our advanced Automizer class, okay? Oh, okay, Coach Najla. Look, Coach Najla be on it. And I hope that you all want to start building your Shopify stores because I have retired from building Shopify stores, y'all. Coach Najla is your expert in the group for that. So if you all are interested in doing a class where Coach Najla walks you through not only how to set up your products in Shopify, but also create a landing page just for memorial. Even if you don't even have a website yet, at the least, go ahead and set up a landing page for your memorial. And then that way, when you go and you call in these different funeral homes or people want you to do this kind of design, you feel confident telling them, hey, here's my website. Let me know, if you need any assistance. But for the most part, everything that they need to buy, everything that they need to talk to you about is on that website. Okay. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you for the vault there. I did add some things that we already had on there. Y'all said y'all wanted me to add the garden flag. I added the license plate because that is actually a popular product I found on your competitors' websites. And a couple more products I added there. And if I get some time, I'm going to create the funeral programs. Let me see what else y'all asked me for. Funeral program, I definitely think that's one that should be on there. And then you all also asked for, That's what they had on the website. Where is it where you asked me? Because I had some images saved up. So a candle, I think the candle would be excellent. The fountains, I don't know if I'm going to be able to mock up the fountains in time because I have not made one of those yet. So I don't know the dimensions and I'm not sure, like, I don't trust other people's mock-ups. I have to like test it myself. But if you have a tried and true mock-up where you printed it out and you tested it, let me know and I can scale the images to that mock-up. Let's see, bookmarks. I think bookmarks are actually a strong one, but I think you can also, because not saying that people don't read books anymore. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think these memorial cards would do well because everybody can, place them in a nice frame, put it on their mantle or their desk, and it's still a substantial kind of keepsake, even though it's paper. You also asked about the towels. So I did put the towels on there. I didn't have the square towels on there, so I have to add the square towels. But I do have like the spirit towel, hand towel version in the Memorial Atomizer. And then you also mentioned umbrellas. Now, I won't put an umbrella in the atomizer because typically an umbrella kind of has its own way that they sew it. But what I would do for that is go to the third party website and add the umbrella. All right, so let's see. This is it. That was easy, y'all. That was super easy, right? I'm talking more than I have to because my time is, I still have 30 more minutes to talk to y'all before we start class. So what I'm gonna do, the Shopify challenge. Okay, so we used to do a Shopify challenge as part of the challenge week. It's really intense, and I wanted to focus on just design. So now we have the Shopify as a separate boot camp. Okay, so Regina, are you interested in doing that? Because I'm sure Coach Knowledge is in the room right now. If y'all want to do a Shopify boot camp, it is a single session where Coach Naja will give you the products just like this. She'll give you the individual products and also give you banner images and that sort of thing so you can start off so you don't have to even have any images to set this page up. I'm telling you, we make it super easy. And then she gives you an Excel file that has all the information that you're going to copy and paste so you get used to how to set up your listings. And then you launch your page by the end of the session with Coach Noshly. So if that sounds good and y'all are interested in doing that, go ahead and put a 100 in the chat. And let's see. Okay, all right. Cool, cool. Like I said, you get your Shopify store up and running in a single day. Like, I don't know anybody else that does that, I promise you. It's also very empowering when you do all of this design work and then you finally have a page that people can go to and see your work and order your stuff. Um, that is your next level business, okay? I don't want you all just making things that you find fun. I want you to make sure that you also find funds where you find fun, okay? All right, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and save what I've done here. So you all aren't going to get it like this. I'm going to tell you how you're going to get it. You're going to get it like the blue version that I just flipped out. And then you all will add the elements like I just did. We'll do it together in class. And you won't have to worry because I'll be right there just in case anything goes left. All right. So that's it for the demonstration. So technically, we are starting class at 8. I need to go ahead and package this up for you all. But if you have any questions, this is your Q&A time. If you all want to, oh, I know what I need to do. I need to check on your work from yesterday and see how you all did. I'm checking inside of the Facebook group. Let's see how we did. Are you welcome, Regina? I'm glad you think I make it so easy. That's my goal. My goal is to make it easy so you don't get frustrated and you build your skills and you build your confidence. Awesome. Y'all are so amazing. Okay, with the flipping. Let's go. Who's that? Come on, Pam. Beautiful Shauna. Love it, love it. And then even the AI images that you all picked out, do you all know what you're going to be able to do with that now? Like you all have such beautiful work that you all created and at your fingertips. Oh, Sean, I remember you working on that image. This looks so good. Very nice. Y'all even made the Canva ones look good. I'm telling you. You all are crushing it. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I wanted to kind of prep us for tomorrow as well because I want you all to kind of understand your competition and why we do these mega mock-ups. Okay. So if I go back to on this website here, and this website is a good understanding of basically a very large competitor. So this competitor does same day print and shipping. Okay. But I just want you to see these are the memorial cards I was talking about. It's nothing more than a cardstock that's printed front and back. Sometimes they round the corner, sometimes they don't, but at the least, this is a very simple way for you to add something to the services that everybody could take home. And you don't have to print it. You can send it off to a company like For Over, but you can also, depending on what type of printer you have, you can print these in-house. I just suggest, depending on the party size of the funeral, that it can be quite taxing. So you want to have a backup to make sure that even if you have a third party printing these, even if it's your local CVS or another type of printer that can do same day, possibly next day ship or next day print, you want to make sure that you're still going to make a profit even if you have to send it to somebody else. Okay, so don't make the mistake of saying, oh, well, CVS charged this, so I'm going to charge less. No, what you're charging for is the time and the energy and the understanding of what they need for this product. Anybody can take a design in Canva and go anywhere in print nowadays. What they don't know is they don't know how the layout works, what looks good. They don't have the coordinating pieces and items. They don't have the AI artwork that you developed. They don't have the blending skills and the color changing skills that you all just developed. So keep that in mind. The time that you're investing in learning is also something that you charge for. You don't just charge for materials, okay? All right, your education is a part of the investment in your value as well. And where value is, that it's not going to be objection to price. And if they do have an objection to price, then they don't understand the value. Okay. Amen. Amen. Okay, so just showing you some of these products here. And then what I'll do, I'm just going to go ahead and send you all this link in the chat right now. So if you all want to do a little pondering over what products you want to offer and how you want to market them, this is a website I think that gives you good ideas. All right, and customer happiness, we can put that in the working document for today, please. All right, and then of course, you all could get into doing some things. I have on my notes some things that I want you all to be able to offer. For instance, in addition to just doing products, I want you to think about offering the photo enhancement, offering, of course, to design. You don't even have to print this stuff. You could just do all digital. Offering to design the portrait that they normally have sitting. Normally, they have a portrait at every single program, whether it is open casket, closed casket, or even cremation services. They have a large portrait that usually the closest of kin gets to take home with them. And then other people want that portrait too. So what I want you to do is put on the back of that portrait a QR code that people can scan and get a copy of that. Because once you design it one time, it's nothing to print it again. Okay. Also, when I show you all tomorrow how to design in Canva with the motion graphic. Now you can say, hey, I can do your slideshow video or your intro where it might be a photo. No, I'm not going to teach you how to make the photo move and all that because that wasn't even me. I did a little bit, I played with it a little bit, and then that's something that my brother Blake is working on. But it takes some hours, y'all, and it takes a very powerful computer to actually render these videos and put these things together. So I'm going to show you what you can do that might take 5 to 10 minutes to create a beautiful motion graphic that can be used as an announcement, and then it can also be used for like the TV and all of that. Okay. So I just want y'all to think about just offering those services. We'll talk tomorrow about a strategy. Just want y'all to be ready for that. All right. These photo collages are another thing. I don't personally like collages. It's a lot of pictures, but almost every memorial service, or even if it's not a service, even if I'm working for an individual client, they end up sending me a whole bunch of pictures. Now, what I do charge per picture whenever they want me to do a collage, because usually I'm not just putting collages in squares. I melt my pictures together. I blend them together with the effects that I showed you all yesterday. Same way you fade off the bottom of the image is the way I fade around the image, and I create collages that way. So I do charge per photo for my collages. All right, so just showing you some examples of some products here that your customers may be interested in. Most of these we already have in the Memorial Automizer, keychains, mugs. I don't have the necklaces in there. I do have that to update on the Automizer to put in there, the yard sign. I probably need to put the yard sign on there because I have the yard flag. I have the fans on there. So really almost everything that they're offering right here, we already have in our Automizer plus more, because normally these companies aren't going to make some of the more personalized products that you would make because they are interested in mass production. They're not interested in, doing a whole bunch of trinketed things. Okay. They may have a few things like the mugs, just like CVS, they may have mugs and tumblers, a few items, but they're not going to have a plethora of products. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the fact that they know their core items and they know their core audience, and there may be some promotional materials you want to show. But remember, I told you to just keep it simple and make sure that you're showing the products that you know are most popular. And then you can also show them the platinum version where it has a lot of different products with that theme, but it's not going to be personalized to them. Otherwise, you're just doing a whole lot of artwork for them for free, and they're not going to value your artwork. They will be shocked and they will be excited that they asked for a t-shirt and you showed them these items. So anybody in the chat, if you've ever used the Automizer to mock up for your client, and maybe your client only wanted one thing, have you ever upsold your client just by mocking up more than one product or more than the product they asked for? Okay, yep, Pam, Lynn. Nobody else? Mara, okay. Coach Nancy, cool, cool. So the idea here is, yes, it makes it pretty, but it's also an upselling technique, okay? So I want you all to learn more than just design. I want you to get into the marketing side of things. I want you to get into um, why things sell, not just how to make them, okay? Because there's a big difference. Exactly, exactly. Yep. They don't know what they want unless you show them. You have to show them exactly what they want. And that's why it's important to know and to listen to your client as well. All right, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save these now. Do y'all have any questions for me about designing, about selling your products, pricing your products? Because I'm going to go ahead and get this file ready for you all. Well, it's already ready. I'm just going to drop it like it's hot on the back end. So this is what you'll be getting. You all will have the 297 class start. And I'm going to show you exactly how to download all of this. And then I'm going to give you my files for flipping because I know my files for flipping work. What you can do after class is you can use the files that you made yesterday and then flip it for homework. And then that way, if you'll have my Purple Roses version, but you also might have whatever image that you flipped yesterday. How much would I charge for the color change that we did yesterday? That is a great question. It depends on how much that I would have to do. That really wasn't that hard. It was just y'all learning a new concept. So, for instance, I charge like a $15 fee if I have to modify the photo in any way. And let's say I have to upscale it and all of that and kind of do some photo restoration, I charge $25. Now, let me tell you what I would do with that $25. They would pay me the $25, and then I would go to Fiverr and have someone on Fiverr. I would pay them $5 plus a tip when they got it done right. And they would do the photo restoration for me. I'm not an expert in photo restoration. I can do it. I sometimes have a little bit of fun with it, but for the most part, it takes me off of my game of how I essentially make my money, which is designing. Okay. So I'm just letting you all know just because you can do something doesn't mean you do it. And if you can do something, it, don't ever undercharge because if at least I need to pay somebody on Fiverr $10 to do that color change, I could pay them the $10 and even if I break even, I'm not losing my time. Okay. And I still get to keep that client. And preferably, though, I would still make a profit. Okay. That's what I want you all to see. If you do something the same price as everybody else does and everybody else is fighting for the bottom, find your way to stand out, look different, have a different and higher perceived value, right? You don't see Gucci and Louis Vuitton scrapping and competing with Walmart purses. That's not what they do. They work on having a perceived value where they never even get put next to a Walmart purse. Does that make sense? So if that's where you want to be with your level of design, number one, make sure you have the quality and the skill. That's why you're here investing in yourself. So I already know you got that, right? You got the templates and you're working on the skill set so that you are superior to a lot of the work that you see out there. How many of y'all have seen some memorial projects and you're just like kind of cringe, like you can't even look at it right without squinting your eyes and making funny faces like, that just doesn't look right. How many of y'all have seen that type of work out there? Have you seen that type of work out there? Give me a one in the chat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And guess what, y'all? They got paid. Guess what, y'all? They got paid. Somebody paid them. Okay. So you are able to get paid and show that you have a higher level of quality for that product. So that's what I want you to focus on. That's what I want your marketing to focus on, right? So whenever you are making your marketing material, just focus on that only. The quality and how fast you can do something and how high quality will beat out cheap any day. Now, if you want to be the cheap person in town, just make sure you can do things really quick. And what I mean by that is only flip 5 minute templates. Don't don't do nothing extra, nothing extra. Don't even type anything for them. Whatever they send you is what you print. That's how you get to be cheap, is if you don't have to do the work and it's only a production effort. And even then, you have to be doing high volume to really be cheap and make money. Okay. So I don't usually tell you all to go that route because this particular industry is one where it's going to be last minute. It's going to be high, um, I will say, people's their expectations are high, but their irritation levels also high too. This is pretty much someone just passed away important to them. So you're going to need to be the person that impresses them. You're going to need to be the person that they are excited to talk to and excited to see the work from at the end of the day, not the person that disappoints them because they paid for 100 shirts and you can only get 50 done because you were trying to be the cheapest on the market. That's going to blow your business up more than selling $10 t-shirts to compete with other people that are selling $10 t-shirts. Okay. Yep, last minute and a big order majority of the time. Pam, let me tell you my biggest way to make money with the memorial is I go ahead and if they order a design, I will stay up that night till 2 o'clock in the morning because that's usually when I do my memorial designs when I have peace and quiet, and I'll go ahead and get that design done. I'll send it to them 2 o'clock in the morning because more or less they up thinking about this stuff anyway. They'll be so excited and the text that I always get back is I love it, right? I very rarely have gotten anything other than I love it. Okay. Once they say I love it, I'm like, great. Guess what? That's why you're gonna have Coach Najla help you build your Shopify page. Well, I went ahead and created this listing for you. So if you have any family members that need to order the shirt, they can order through this link. And that basically you charge them whatever you want to charge them. If you want me to charge them $25 a shirt, because I'm charging you $20 a shirt, you can make that type of arrangement with that person, and then that person will share the link. Guess what? You got a free marketer. You don't have to go out there and market that family shirt because that family's not going to respect you for marketing their dead relative. That you're going to cause probably even upheaval. Well, who's getting the money for the shirts? And that's how that goes. But you let that family member that ordered that shirt from you put the link out there. All you did was provide an opportunity and a space on your Shopify store, a landing page for them to purchase this dog tag, this poster, this t-shirt, this ribbon, and especially the items that they're going to wear the day of, the ribbon, the button, the t-shirts, these day of items, the dog tag, day of items, they're definitely going to want those things. So if you focus on being fast and quality, I promise you will not have to be the cheapest. And add to that an easy way for them to order without one person have to take everybody's order and mix it up and collect money and all of that. Make them a quick landing page. Let Coach Naja show you how to do that. Okay. All right, my love. So we are almost ready for class, and I still haven't dropped this file. Literally, I have the file sitting right in front of me. I'm just talking with my hands. Let me drop this file for y'all on the back end of your challenge. Let me go ahead and go there. And then we're going to all download it together. And y'all, on the YouTube side, we are about to head out. So I was checking on y'all to see if y'all have any questions or anything. Hey, hey, loves. All right. And don't forget those who are inside of the challenge today, you're also the ones who have craft to quit. So I'm going to remind you every day to quit craft to quit if you don't like it, because I don't like people being in places they don't like to be. I love people that are in places where they love to be. You produce more, you provide a brighter spirit, all of that good stuff. So just remember that you signed up for a 30-day membership for only $97. So at the end of, or let's say right before your 30th day, go ahead and evaluate for yourself. Did I get true value out of this challenge? I'm going to do a challenge every single month. Did I get value out of my every Tuesday AI class? Did I get value out of my every Wednesday Photoshop class? Did I get value out of the Friday classes where Shannon tells us to get our behinds out there and sell something and gives us strategy? If you don't feel like you've gotten your $97 of value, then definitely make sure that you go ahead and drop that subscription. Okay. I don't like to tell people to not to pay me money, but I would rather you not pay me money than be somewhere where it's not benefiting you. If you've already received your $97 in value, let me know in the chat right now. If you feel like Shannon, I ain't going nowhere, we on day 4, and I already know I'm gonna be stuck with you for life. If you feel like that, let me know in the chat. Show me some love. Because this is why I do this, y'all. This is why I do it. I used to charge $197 for the challenges alone. Actually, I used to charge $297 for the challenges alone. Let your OGs tell you that that's true. Okay. Then what I said was I truly want my Craft to Quit program to be the premier program of this creative marketplace. I want you all to have the tools and I want you all to have a project every single month to show off what you've been learning all month long. So I've actually taken a pay cut just to make sure that you all have access to this information. So I hope it's helpful. I hope y'all love it. I hope y'all love the community because it's not just me. Because what happens is when I tap out on y'all. I give y'all a lot of energy, but I'm not in the community as much as your fellow creatives are. So it's a community as well. All right. And yes, we have boot camps where we have add-on knowledge that you can get some hands-on help in those places. And we even have one-on-one sessions if you need it. Y'all threatening, y'all, I'm stuck with you. Okay, I'll take it. I will take it. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready for class while I'm sitting up here getting everybody hyped. Let's customer happiness. We're going to, oh, I didn't give you back the privileges here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. There we go. And then also we're going to go ahead and take a little break before we get going. So you all have, I'm going to give you all a 10-minute break tonight so I can go ahead and upload these files. Then we'll download together and get this on, okay? Lynn, you said lesson learned. I should have never left the kitchen. Listen, Lynn, I'm going back to the kitchen. Y'all gonna see. I'm gonna show y'all in a few weeks. We're going back to the kitchen. I'm gonna show you how to GoPro from home. Because brick and mortar is not always what you want or need for your business, okay? So I'll have some story time about that in a little bit. As a matter of fact, if you are in Jacksonville and you are looking for a commercial spot, the place that I have is selling. So it is a little over 500,000, I believe, 550, but it could be negotiated with equipment and things as in that department as well. So if you all are interested, I'll put out like a little email flyer and that way you all can contact me and let me know if you're interested. But it's in Jacksonville, Florida, North Jacksonville. All right. Oh, yes, we're going to go ahead and stop our YouTube live stream. All right, YouTube, I appreciate you and I love you, dear.